Have you ever thought about what you'd do if the entire world turned to stone? No phones, no internet, and no snacks. Just trees, rocks, and a whole lot of silence. That's the world Senku Ishigami wakes up to. One second, he's in a high school science lab. The next, every human on Earth is a statue, including him. But then, out of nowhere, Senku cracks out of his stone shell. And instead of screaming or panicking like a normal person, his first thought is, alright, let's rebuild everything. With science. No joke, this dude starts planning how to reboot humanity like it's a weekend group project. Fire, tools, medicine, electricity, he's ready to jump from caveman to cell phones in record time. And the craziest part, he's actually doing it. Because while everyone else is still stuck as stone statues, Senku's out here playing Minecraft in real life. The only difference? If he messes up, it's not game over. It's the fate of the human race. And so begins Dr. Stone, the story of one nerd against the entire stone world. So what even is Dr. Stone? It's a post-apocalyptic anime and manga created by Riichiro Inagaki, the same mind behind Eyeshield 21, and illustrated by Boichi, who makes every panel look like a Renaissance painting with caffeine jitters. But here's the twist. This isn't your average shonen. There are no demon lords, no cursed swords, no childhood trauma turned into special powers. Instead, we get chemistry equations, mineral collecting, and the thrilling world of soap making. Yeah, soap. And it's absolutely on fire. Because in Dr. Stone, the real world superpower isn't friendship, it's science. Every invention Senku creates is based on actual real-world science. He explains it, he shows it, and somehow you end up getting hyped over baking soda and copper wiring like it's the final boss battle. It's a show that takes all the over-the-top energy of classic anime and slaps it onto things like glass blowing and antibiotic production. Sounds weird? It is, but it works, and it's kinda brilliant. What Dr. Stone does better than almost anything else is make learning feel epic. It's a survival story, a civilization builder, and a love letter to human progress, all wrapped in shonen energy and wild hair physics. By the time you finish one episode, you won't just want to binge the next. You'll want to Google how to make a generator from scratch. It all starts like any regular day. High school chaos, dumb jokes, best friends doing their best friend things, and Taiju, our lovable human boulder, is finally ready to confess his feelings to Yuzuriha, the girl he's been crushing on for years. But just as he's about to spill the beans, a mysterious green light flashes across the sky. And just like that, everyone turns to stone. Not just the school, the entire planet. Billions of people frozen in mid-sentence, mid-step, midlife. Nature's taken over, buildings are gone, cities crumbled, and humanity is stuck in their escape rooms. But then, one guy wakes up. Senku Ishigami, the brainiac with Einstein-level IQ and enough stubbornness to rival a cockroach during an apocalypse. And get this, he wasn't just asleep. He was conscious the entire time. Yep, my guy literally counted every single second that passed. That's over 6 billion seconds. You were counting sheep? This dude was counting millennia. While the rest of humanity was on pause, Senku was mentally prepping to restart civilization. No food, no problem. No tools, he'll make them. No people, he'll bring them back. He's not panicking, he's planning, because in Senku's head, the mission is already clear. Rebuild the world. One beaker, one formula, one spark at a time. And just like that, the stone world has its first scientist back. Let the reboot begin. Waking up 3,700 years in the future with nothing but rocks and a loincloth, most people would cry, panic, or go full caveman. But Senku? He builds a lab. First comes the basics. Fire, wood, and shelter. But survival isn't enough for him. Nah, this man's out here speedrunning civilization. While other people would be like, where's the nearest water source? But Senku had different plans. Before you know it, he's creating wine from wild grapes. He's using it to make nitric acid, then gunpowder. Because apparently, that's step 3 after waking up from a stone coma. He crafts ramen to win over the locals. Mixes sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate to create explosives. Oh, and he casually builds a water wheel-powered generator too. Because of course he does. Most kids his age want a car for their birthday, but Senku? He wants sulfuric acid. And you know what? That's kind of inspiring. He's not just trying to survive the stone world. He's dragging it, kicking and screaming, back to the modern age. One spark, one formula, one ridiculous invention at a time. We open up with Taiju hyping himself up to confess his love to Yuzuriha, and just as he's about to pour his heart out, the world turns into a stone statue exhibit. Fast forward 3,700 years, and nature's taken back the earth. But in a miracle of pure willpower and stubborn nerd energy, Senku wakes up. Not from magic, not by accident, but because he counted every second. 6 billion of them. Senku is officially the first man to speedrun the apocalypse using math. He vows to bring back human civilization with one goal in mind: to revive everyone and rebuild everything with science. Now it's Taiju's turn. Thanks to Senku's DIY revival formula, nitric acid plus guano juice, the big guy cracks out of his stone shell. He's loud, loyal, and built like a tank. Together, they make a perfect duo, brains plus brawn. The two set out to revive Yuzuriha next. But first, they need to test their formula. This is where they start experimenting. Real science, real stakes. But survival's not easy. Wild beasts, no tools, no modern conveniences. So Senku goes full caveman scientist mode, makes fire, builds a shelter, and starts crafting everything from scratch. And just like that, the Stone Age is getting a reboot. So Senku and Taiju need muscle. Here enters Tsukasa Shishio, the strongest high schooler alive. This dude punches lions with his bare fists in a jungle like it's no big deal. Senku's thinking, nice, we got a tank. But Tsukasa's got ideas, dangerous ones. While Senku wants to revive everyone, the old, the young, and the weird aunt who collects porcelain cats, Tsukasa's like, let's only bring back the pure-hearted youth. Yup, red flag. Tsukasa's ideal world? No money, no taxes, no power imbalance. Just abs and moral purity. Senku's like, that's cute, now move. I'm rebuilding Google. And the ideological war begins. It's the classic brains versus brawn. Senku wants a future with medicine, tech, and science fairs. Tsukasa wants a nature-driven utopia, where he's in charge. Senku, sarcastic, stubborn, slightly unhinged. They start as allies, but you know it won't last. Because the moment Tsukasa starts smashing statues of innocent people, Senku realizes he didn't just revive muscles, he woke up the Stone World's first villain. The honeymoon phase is officially over. Tsukasa isn't just flexing for fun anymore. He's out here punching statues to death. Why? Because they might be corrupt adults who could ruin his perfect fantasy forest kingdom. Meanwhile, Senku is trying to bring back doctors, engineers, and anyone with a brain cell. He knows rebuilding civilization needs more than biceps. It needs knowledge, teamwork, and, let's be honest, Google. So Senku pulls a classic nerd move. He hides the revival formula. Yep, we've entered the Cold War. Stone Edition. Senku starts subtly working against Tsukasa, building tech, gathering allies, and planning a world where everyone gets a second chance. But Tsukasa's vision is the opposite. Wipe the slate clean and keep it that way. And then episode 5 drops the hammer. Tsukasa finds out Senku's been hiding the formula. He gives him one last chance to join his pure youth society. Senku refuses, of course. Dude literally bleeds science. So Tsukasa does the unthinkable. He strikes Senku's neck. Crack, silence, and Senku collapses. Did Tsukasa just kill the one guy who can rebuild civilization? Did he just shatter humanity's last brain cell? The episode ends on a massive cliffhanger. No jokes, no explosions, just one chilling question. Is Senku dead? And if he is, what hope does the Stone World have left? So, Senku's dead, right? Neck cracked, lifeless, and hope gone. Wrong. This is Senku Ishigami we're talking about, the guy who made wine and soap from scratch. Death is just another problem to solve. Now it's flashback time. Turns out Senku pulled the ultimate 4D chess move. Before getting attacked, he intentionally left a piece of petrified stone in his neck. Why? Because the stone heals when revived. He turned his murder site into a medical procedure. Big brain. Meanwhile, Taiju and Yuzuriha, playing it cool, pretend to team up with Tsukasa, but behind the scenes, they use the revival fluid on Senku's neck. And just like that, he's back. Senku rises up from the dead, not to take revenge, but to go underground. To avoid Tsukasa, he heads deep into uncharted territory and makes a bold move. He's founding a new nation, one powered by gears, chemistry, and pure determination. The Kingdom of Science is born, and it starts with one mission: recruit villagers from a nearby primitive tribe. Yep, people who were never petrified, living like it's 10,000 BC. Senku's ready to bring them everything: medicine, electricity, ramen, and eventually Wi-Fi. Because why rebuild a basic world when you can reboot civilization with style? Once Senku kickstarts the Kingdom of Science, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. And that means inventions. Lots of them. First up, soap. Because even in a world of rocks and lions, germs are still a thing. Senku makes antibacterial soap from ash and fat. Next, we have glass. You want lab gear, microscopes, and beakers? It's time to melt sand like a mad scientist. And then we have electricity. While the villagers are still trying to figure out why ramen is crunchy, Senku builds a hydroelectric generator. Cue light bulbs. He brings light to the Dark Ages, but he's not stopping there. When a villager falls sick, Senku pushes the entire stone world into the age of antibiotics, creating sulfa drugs from scratch. You know, just casually inventing modern medicine in a forest. And the grand project? Cell phones. Yes, the ultimate science flex. The boy genius goes from soap to telecom in record time. This isn't just survival, it's a speed run through 3,700 years of progress, powered by caffeine, chemistry, and chaos. All led by one teenager with gravity-defying hair and a love for explosions. Senku's not just rebuilding civilization, he's leveling it up. From stone to science, ramen to radio waves, Dr. Stone isn't just an anime, it's a celebration of human genius. While others see a ruined world, Senku sees potential, blueprints, and a chance to rebuild everything better. No capes, no superpowers, just brains, chemistry, and an unhealthy love for sulfuric acid. So if you're tired of the same old power-ups and punch fests, this is your sign to dive into the nerdiest apocalypse ever. Because in the stone world, science is supreme. And Senku, he's just getting started.